Sophie, your gym bag is in the way.
Honey, it's not where it goes.
I didn't realize it was going. It's filming.
Yes, it is.
You guys just saw Maddie behind the scenes. Got a vacuum.
You vacuum?
Emily vacuums, and I love her for that. So Emily, if you're watching this, you're the best roommate ever. She is. So 5 head moment. It is crazy that we were back here, like, talking to you guys again because it has been a minute and we've changed. Our mindsets have changed.
Well,
let's say.
I
Both
would
of
say
us.
mine is kind of just amplified.
Let's say that I have gone through a complete mental renovation.
Yes, you guys.
And I didn't even notice it until now.
I don't know if you guys have watched my old videos, but like Maddie like was so insecure.
I was so insecure. I remember we watched, so tell them about the video we watched.
And she was like talking about her body. She was like, "Oh, my body looks so bad." And I was like, "How do you think that? We have the same like body." And this was when we were like 16. And I had started my YouTube channel and stuff. And in every video, "Oh, I look so bad right now. Don't film me." And she watches it now and she even says like, "I looked fine there."
Yeah, I looked fine.
It's so internal, and the way it's crazy the way she internalized it because we have the same face.
Yeah.
And like pretty much very similar bodies.
This feels unnatural. Usually I'm on the left side.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I'm always on the left. Your right side's better.
No, my left side's better.
My left side's better.
No, your right side's better.
My left side is better.
No, this side's better.
No,
Yes,
my
it
left
is.
side is. Look, think of when you smile in pictures. You always lean.
I mean, whatever makes you happy.
no, I'm just.
You said you're uncomfortable, so let's switch.
No, I'm not uncomfortable.
Anyways.
Now that we are back and comfortable, I am working on not interrupting people while they talk. You're just a glowing moons. Aren't we hilarious together?
Two hands.
If you guys haven't realized, we've been told by Michelle, which is my best friend at college here, that we have gotten more identical. And we, now looking at it, we definitely have gotten more identical.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start
One
with
of us is
questions.
prettier.
One is prettier. I backed you up, bro. What's wrong with her? One has a smaller forehead, though. Totally. Sophie does have a bigger forehead. Shut up. One twin is skinnier, obviously. Obviously! Fatter! One is obviously single. Don't give me a hint. One twin is emotionally unavailable. We should do a thing where we close our eyes and it's like which twin is more blank and then we point to each other or ourselves.
Okay, yeah.
I love that. Okay, we're gonna do a little segment and it's gonna be who's more likely to. So I'm gonna look up questions.
Ooh, perfect.
Best friend question. Even though Hattie is Sophie's bestie and Michelle is my bestie, we are still ultimately
Best
besties.
friends, yeah. We are. It's a twin thing.
Ooh. Okay, who's most likely to have the higher body count?
Ooh.
Genuinely? Okay.
3, 2, 1.
I said you.
I said you.
I said you.
Really?
Yeah.
No. I feel like it'd be you.
I've changed since then.
I know, but
I'm
still.
Who is most likely to be more sensitive?
3, 2, 1. Open.
Yes.
No question.
Who is most likely to date 2 guys at a time? Neither of us would do that.
No, fidelity. I'm too loyal. I can't. I could never. Could never.
Okay.
I don't know how people do that.
Should we do that one?
Yeah.
Who is most likely to be the best liar?
3, 2, 1.
Open.
She's always been a better liar.
I've been a pretty good liar.
I'm not a great liar. she can always tell when I lie.
When Sophie's lying? No.
You so over exaggerated that.
Who's most likely to kill someone accidentally?
Okay.
3, 2, 1. You're dumbass. You're dumbass with like I can't do.
You are the ultimate ditz.
Hey guys.
Weird.
I think it's our facial expression. Sophie, tell me that she's talking.
Do I actually do that?
I think That is so not true.
Talk to animals. So weird. It's probably me.
Who's the first one to die in a zombie apocalypse? I feel like
It's you. Someone like walk outside and check the weather.
Okay. This is so inaccurate though, because I would not be that dumb.
No, this is you can not even put that in there. Who's most likely to have a computer? What the fuck, bro?
Let me see. Who's most likely to write a bestseller? Who?
Okay.
Who's most likely to make $1 million? 3, 2, 1. Open.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's definitely so.
Yeah.
I don't know. She's just kind of like,
Whew.
who's most likely to laugh at the wrong moment?
3, 2,
2,
1.
Open. Yep.
We need some deeper.
Yeah, we need some deeper. Dieting. So dieting, that was just one of the topics that people wanted us to talk
people
about.
People want us to talk about dieting. First of all, if you're gonna compete ever, make sure you have a good nutrition coach, because there are so many trash diets and honestly trash coaches out there. Do your research. You should not be starved on a good diet. You should be feeling, maybe not super full as much as usual, but
At least up until 3 weeks out.
it's harder for different people because some people have different starting places. Some people are a lot heavier to begin with, and it takes them a lot more, honestly, more work to get down to a lean point. And then for other people who start off, like Maddie and I are naturally lean, so it's been pretty easy to cut, because when we start cutting, like, our metabolisms are fast and we lose weight easily. And we also, it's harder for us to gain weight too, I'd say, because we can eat so much.
It's also
You guys know that.
It goes hand in hand also with muscle growth, though. Like, both of us we don't build muscle nearly as easily as someone who has a more muscular
Yes.
body type or genetics. So
100%.
that's probably what I'd say about dieting. If you're gonna diet, make sure you're doing it for you. You're not doing it for anyone else. Like,
Yeah,
at the
you
end
guys,
of the day,
that is like literally, that's such a good point.
if you're like, I want to
Mhm.
lose 10 pounds, lose 10 pounds. But like,
doing this like in a search for validation, you're never gonna win. I
Never gonna
can't.
win.
You cannot. There is not fulfillment in your body. Like, you cannot find true fulfillment based off of your body. You cannot base your worth off of your body, and that's why I think that's why I preach so much like mindset and internal work, because that's literally where it starts. You need to be happy with yourself on the inside if you want to like project out like true confidence. We'll talk about confidence in a different topic.
she's right, and I'll add on to that. If you are finding yourself falling for the same types of guys, falling in the same friendship problems, it's not them, it's you. And I'm realizing that, looking back, I'm like, I can't believe I was attracted to someone like this. Well, I was insecure myself, and I was faking it on the outside, but you have to fix that inner core.
And if you guys watch the Zaffel Hall working too much video I even said that, like, and this is when we were 16, I was like, I cannot believe the guy you like.
Yeah.
And like,
I was a little bit lagging.
No, but then you also gave me really good advice. We were both going through some stuff, situationships there. But it's like, yeah, you will keep attracting the same thing based on like your own insecurities or struggles. Like, they're like, how come the guys that I always talk to like end up like cheating on me and stuff? It's like,
You didn't see it coming?
You attracted that. You don't even realize it, but like there are certain actions that these guys take that like you are almost like you attract because you look for it, and you might not even try, but it's like you might be turning to whatever's comfortable with you, whatever like you had an experience with in the past, and like that might be a good thing or bad thing. Either way, you're attracting it.
And I mean, I'm not a therapist, but I learned a lot about childhood trauma, and if you just look back and reflect on your whole childhood experience, just keep that in mind. I mean, you can change at any point if you are in control of your life, but to some extent, your childhood impacts who you are today.
It really does.
And how you see the world and your views and who you're attracted to all ties down to how you were raised in your childhood and how you saw your parents too. So just like keep that in mind. Know that there's room for growth and that you can change that. But you have to start from the bottom and know your roots before you even start to move forward.
Yeah, you have to accept and understand them in order to even like change from that, like if it's a good thing or bad thing. And I think like whatever relationship that was your biggest role model, whether it's a good relationship or a bad relationship, like let's take your parents for example. If it was something bad, like look at how that was and how that worked out, and if there's anything you're doing that's similar to like that dynamic that you see isn't working for you, like try to point out like your strengths or something that you can work on, you know, to make a stronger relationship, or something that maybe you saw in a different relationship that you grew up with that you didn't like you have the power to change that. Like it is all in your power. It's your life. You are not your parents. You are not, you know, your past, right?
That's right. That is right. Next question is switching up topics. What is the most attractive muscle in a guy, and what makes a guy attractive?
So people ask this, you guys. Like I've gotten this question so much. Okay, you go first.
Well, I'll start with muscle. I automatically notice upper body, and this is not like a muscle together, but if you have like a solid like back and delts, it's like wow. I was really thinking about the other day. I was looking at new guys, like strangers in the street. And I was like, I'm attracted to that guy because he has a nice upper body.
Yes.
And it's like a symbol of protection. So that's what comes
That's like the root of it, isn't it? It's like, you don't even, it's like biological. Like, and I feel like once you like actually get older, you start to understand that. Like, why am I attracted to bigger, muscular guys? And it's like, because it's a protective mechanism as a female. And also, it's not just that, but it's like you aren't born with like huge muscles. Like yes, you might have great genetics and stuff, but like seeing somebody who worked for that, and also knowing, being the perspective of a girl who lives herself, seeing a guy that has that too, I know the effort it takes to get there, and I admire the work and the discipline. It is attractive. So I would say the most attractive muscle too is back and arms.
So if you got chicken legs, it's alright. What makes a guy attractive? Well, so in general, it's just such a general question.
I could go on like describing the perfect guy, and the reality is there isn't a perfect guy, but there are definitely traits that are attractive. So if we're talking about that, we can go into some of those things.
Yeah, you go.
Initial physical attraction is important. Men are visual, women are less visual, but like we still have eyes. And I'd say height is like the first thing I notice, honestly. Because it's like you're either looking up at them a little bit or like you're looking down. I don't know what it is about height, and it's not me trying to be like, us trying to be stereotypical, like, oh, he has to be 6 foot. Like, as long as he's taller than me, like, that's attractive. When it comes to the deeper level, which is the more important thing, this is what gets a guy to stay, right? It's not the looks. It is loyalty, communication, and being, and something that is also like very attractive to me is like not thinking that they are superior to you, but instead like trying to teach you things in a way that doesn't make you feel dumb.
He's very like, that's who I automatically think of when you make up that point.
I literally just listed 3 things, but there are so many things, like I can't even, you just know what a good guy is and what's not. And honestly, part of me doesn't even want to like share all these random lists of things, because
it's so
like
general.
Why don't we just let the good guys like win on their own? Now they are, right?
The
like they're gonna stand out.
If you have a good heart, good intentions, and you like a girl, like you make a move, because you
fight for that shit.
You fight for that,
because otherwise, like some other guy's gonna come in and like if you persist, you will most likely like succeed. Like if you actually take the time to build a friendship with someone or a relationship with someone, dude, some other guy's gonna try to do the same, right? But they might give out before you. If you just stick along, like you're probably gonna win.
And you know, if you watch videos on like high value men and women, I guess that's like negotiable, but if you believe in your heart that you are a high value man, don't have any worries about the high value woman seeking you out, because we always know. And no matter how many people we talk to, whatever, we got most women
high value one guy.
And that's it.
One guy. Yeah.
And that's how Sophie and I both are.
We're attracted to different people, but trust me, we aren't interested in having a bunch of guys, right? Like there's one that will stand out, and there's one that always does.
And I have we both have probably yet to meet to find that person. You know, like you can have guy friends, and I have guy friends that I genuinely enjoy hanging out with that I don't have like romantic interest in, and that is a good thing. Like, it is good to have male energy and guy friends and just explore that, because right now, like at least for Sophie and I, we're both in the place that we're not seeking a relationship.
Yeah.
We're not seeking
It's not a seeking at all.
It's out there, but we're not actively seeking.
It's
like,
the type of thing, and I've talked about this before, is like someone amazing that would build off of us were to come in our life, like we're not shutting that out. Like that's definitely there, but like it's not something that we're actively like again seeking.
Mm-hmm. But of course, my future is not complete without my man, because I know he's gonna be there and that my dude's gonna find me.
100%.
Or I'll find him, or we'll meet.
100%.
However it works, because the universe has my side.
You can still be an independent woman and allow like a man to provide for you.
Yes.
And I think like people hate on this like traditionality. I disagree. I think it's so valuable and so strong to have
and respectable,
like a connection like that, and to want that at some point.
Mm-hmm. You want that polarity, and you want
a loyal like relationship.
It wouldn't be considered traditional if it was not like beneficial, because obviously it's been a pattern in relationships for years and years since like humans have evolved.
Right.
Especially, that's all, we'll leave it, because I know it's a very controversial topic. But you do whatever you want. I mean, you pick the relationship you like.
Whatever makes you happy.
Yeah. Is toxic masculinity real? Absolutely. Is toxic femininity real? Absolutely. Okay, beauty standards.
Ooh. The first thing I think of beauty standards is trends. There are things that are generally more attractive on a woman, which is probably larger hips and smaller waists, like ratio, like that. We hear that all the time, and I feel like the beauty standards kind of tie into that, where it's either like you know, really thin woman or really curvy, huge ass, big tits type of, you know, it's a trend.
Yeah.
And then people are getting plastic surgery, and that becomes the beauty standard. And I think like, I want to just do my own thing, because I don't want to change my body through like surgery in order to impress a guy, because I wouldn't feel fulfilled with that if I had a guy who only saw me for my body, because that's not like fully me, you know?
Yeah, women and men, you are the standard. Like, don't compare yourself. And this is so generic, but like seriously, just build on what you have, because you have an amazing body that is meant for you, and God created you to be that way. So you take ownership of it, and you use all of those resources to your advantage, like whatever your strengths are, you know? Like, some people are so much better at running, some people are so much better at weightlifting. It's like, find your niche and then just find your passion and go with that, because we are all, if we were all the same person, if there were a million Sophies on this world, the world would be a disaster.
God, what a boring world.
If there were a million Maddies on the world would be a disaster. We need people and diversity.
And we need diversity in every way. We need diversity when it comes to bodies, skin, hobbies, passions, work.
Right. That's right.
Like, what would you do without the plumbers?
What would we do without the plumbers? What would we do without the
surgeons?
The surgeons, the Walgreens workers, whoever it is.
Everybody has their place.
Yeah. And finding friendships too, where people are different. Like, it's so good to be different. And I am like so insanely like intrigued by humans. Like, I want to know everyone's story, and I love listening to people's stories, and just like there's so much to learn and so many different perspectives, and it's just like so awesome to also like develop friendships with people that are so different than you, and everyone can teach you something, you know?
Everyone can teach you something.
Like, keep that. Did you ever want to stop during prep?
No. There was one day, like, I remember specifically, that was so bad, like, the worst out of any day. But, like, knowing that prep is prep, and knowing that it was going to be hard, just like, okay, this is what prep is, right? Like, and then that one day is over, and I did say, like, I'm never doing this again. Like, I remember telling Maddie even, like, I'm never doing this again. That's how you feel in the moment, like, for sure. Otherwise, no. It was pretty good.
And she'll probably compete again. Not probably, but maybe, you know, it's in the future. For me, like, 3 weeks, I'm exactly 3 weeks today, you guys, and I feel great. I mean, of course, I have my moments,
but you wait.
It's not exactly prep related. Like, I have my emotional moments, but it's kind of like something that's always been, like, we all have those, like, moments. Do you want kids? 3, 2, 1, yes!
Yes! Of course.
They give me lights. My job as a server, like, where I see families and kids, and it actually, like, I'm not just saying this, like, it genuinely warms my heart, like, to be around those people.
I feel like kids light up your life in a way, and yes, they are so much work, and yes, I'm going to live it up with my husband before I have kids because he deserves that, and, like, I feel like you deserve that in a relationship because, of course, when you have kids, you know, so much time goes to them, but then again, like, I don't think I would feel happy if I didn't have kids. I wouldn't. Imagine.
That's just part of, like, life, I
guess,
for most people,
I feel like it's some, and I asked my parents this, I'm like, when did you know when you want to have kids? And they said, there's just a time that comes and you just feel it's right to have kids. And I've heard so many couples say that.
If you do want to have kids and you find, like, internal struggles, just remember, like, that you're going to be that role model for them, and you're going to be that person for them, and you are building yourself up right now, because at some point when you do have kids, they're going to look up to you, and you're going to want to be the best person you can and the best role model you can for them.
Yes, and that's so important, is to try to give your child a good upbringing. Like, you really, really have an influence on them in those early years. Like, we remember so much from our childhoods, and part of that is just because we're taking everything in, and like everything is so new to us and so interesting, and that's why, like, we remember so much from our childhood. And I was reading part of a book about this, like, that's why we remember so much from our childhoods, because it's when we're learning the most.
It is the years of growth. And if you guys haven't read, like, I don't know why people would read this, but I was babysitting one time and I found this book, and it was like the 5 love languages, kids' love languages. And I read that front to back, and my gosh, I was like taken back. I was like, this is the most, like, some of the most valuable stuff I've ever seen.
Wow.
And, you know, everyone expresses love differently. Like, Sophie and I probably have slightly different love languages. I don't know. I've always been, like, very, like, physical, like, hugging, affection, words of affirmation are all, like, my love languages. What would you say yours are?
I can't choose. They're all so
important. They all come together. But
what was the strength about the other one that you admire the most?
Oh, there's so many that I admire about you.
I think one of the strengths that Maddie has that I really admire. I've always admired. Oh my gosh, the Leo in you. The connection that she's always made with friends and bringing us together. Because like there were so many hangouts that would have never happened if Maddie hadn't pulled it together for me and initiated and, like, made connections with people that I didn't make the same connections with, but I still was able to go and, you know, even build more connections because of her.
That's so sweet. Mine is you guys. Sophie is, like, genuinely, like, one of the most confident people I know, and she's just like that. Like, she has grown into, like, herself. By the way, she has the most rare personality type. just so you know. Jordan Peterson personality type.
INFJ.
And she knows...
I tested it too. I did the test. And
she knows so much about, like, how to live, like, a successful life. So driven and knows what to say. Like, if anyone asked her a question that she, like, found controversial, you know, she has an opinion for stuff. But it's not, like, in any way that's, like, in your face. It's, like, you text her or you talk to her in any situation and she could talk to you for hours about her perspective on that thing, and she's solid with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's just, it's confidence. It's like she knows what to say, and she's not, like, kind of like me. Like, some situations I'll be like, shoot, like, should I have said that? I'll replay situations in my head. Sophie doesn't do that. She's like, all right, this happened. I said this. Oh my gosh, it's time to get dinner. Like let's, like, you know, it's just Amy's, like, the opposite of an overthinker.
I definitely overthink sometimes. I think, like, all humans do, but I don't stress about it more than I need to, right? That's the difference, I think. College advice.
Oh, college advice is a huge one. This is for friendships. Like, friendships are so valuable, and isolation is literally, like, one of the worst illnesses that you can have. Humans are so meant to be connected to others, and I know, like, I have an extroverted personality, but no matter what kind of personality you have, you need your people. So find them, and you'll know who they are based on how they communicate with you. Do they stay in touch? Do they genuinely want the best for you? Or do they go silent when all of a sudden good things happen to you? You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. Another one is, like,
do you feel tension? Do you feel jealousy? what do their actions say? I do not care what they say. If they do not show it through their actions, you watch what they do. This isn't like a spy type of shit. This is like, do they put the same amount of energy into you as you do to them? Like, do they initiate? Do you initiate? And this sounds like relationship, but this is like friendship. Do they back you up, and do they reciprocate the same amount that you give to them? Can you see that they actually care? Like, when you need them, are they there for you? That's like so important. And they can speak about that as much as they want to, but like, I observe that.
My dad is such a people watcher, and he says it, and I laugh so hard because it's literally us.
Yeah. Like, we will read a room. Like, you can,
we're
like,
so
we will go to dinner with our friends, and by the time we leave, like, we'll know probably
every kind of little, what's going on, where's the tension, what are the situations, how is this exact person feeling this night?
Yeah, within our own,
all
like, table.
Like
but I really, really, really pay attention to, like, my surroundings and who's around me, even when I'm not directly part of the situation. This is so random, but even, like, tension between TAs, like, I can see it, and I feel like nobody else in my class does, but it's like my chemistry, like, I just know it because I watched when these two TAs interact. It's just like, I just know.
Yeah. Another thing I would add on too is like, foster your friendships so well, because a relationship is like the amplified friendship, and I feel like a lot of the time, like, you'll see advice always on relationships, how to have healthy relationships. It won't even be like in the books for you to have a healthy relationship if you don't know how to foster your friendships.
Yes.
Like, and this is with males and females.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's such a good point. We learn so much about relationships, so much about what's attractive, this is attractive, wear this, wear that, say this, do this. You know how to be attractive to someone, but can you have a genuine conversation with someone? Can you build a friendship? Because that is ultimately the basis of all relationships. You know, if you're looking for something, like, you have to be able to make a connection with somebody. You have to be able to understand somebody, and they have to be able to understand you. And like, that comes through repetition, that comes through talking, that comes through more than a few interactions, right? Like, this has to be effort, and you have to learn how to put in that effort, and honestly not overanalyze too much. It's just like natural.
I think a lot of like social media, and I have social media too, but a lot of what I see and so many people fall into is the over analyzing every situation. Allow things to align the way they're supposed to. Of course, not saying that you don't work for it.
Exactly.
But
like, you don't just sit back and let things like, you go after that.
You go after that, but just know that whatever you go after and you have good intentions for is going to come right back to you. Another thing I would say is, like, what I noticed, this is only a personal point for me only specifically. Maybe you relate to this too, but for me personally, I noticed in all of my friendships, my close friendships, all of these people share something in common, and that's that they don't take themselves too seriously. There is something about having like a zest for life, and that is just being, you know,
that's such a good point.
Open to new things, not taking like things to a certain level where it like stresses you out or you're comparing yourself, because when you take yourself too seriously, life isn't fun anymore.
That is such a good point, and I see that with my friendships too. Like, it's not fun to be around people who like can't have flexibility in life. You need flexibility.
Ooh, I can't do the splits, but I like to. Sophie can.
When we talk about insecurity again, and I think of how much more insecure my twin used to be, despite the fact, and this is like proof, because we like, do you really think we look super a ton different? Like, no, we have the same genetics, very similar body shape, yet she was so much more insecure, and like, I at the same time, like,
I wasn't cool back then.
But like, that seriously just shows it, like, how much you internalize things. The most confident version of you is there, you just maybe haven't found it yet. The fact that she was so much insecure than me, and we look the same, just really shows how much like mindset is important, and how much like the view you have on yourself is so important. You can build that up, like, you're not stuck with that. You can work on that, and that comes from a few things. I think it's time alone. I think it's reflection. I think it's failure through relationships and school and stuff. Like, you need to fail. You need to be, you need to be humbled in a way, and to fail in order to want to get better. And that,
like those things together is seriously what's going to improve you and change you as a person. And when you can really change up here, you will start to embody that and like give it off, and people will be able to see it through your physical body, but that all starts up here, and like you will project it.
Glowing.
Yeah.
You're gonna be glowing star, bro.
You'll be glowing.
You better know it. You better know
Take
it.
care of health and your health in all aspects, physical body and your mental health and your spiritual health. And that's something like I'm still trying to figure out is my spirituality, because I never grew up religious before, like how I don't think I believe in God, but I believe in the universe, and that's not true. I do believe in God, and I'm trying to find God and find that connection with God, because my morals and my values ultimately align so much with it. And I have prayed and had my prayers answered. And it's amazing. It's actually crazy.
Weird.
Like the night before, I'll pray for something and I'll receive it the next day, and I'm like, this is just, I just keep getting those answers, right? And that's something like that is just so amazing, and I'm trying to figure out about myself too. And that's like part of my next step of self-growth is like my spirituality. The missing piece that I'm still working on, you know, I feel very strong in other aspects, like my mental health and my emotional health and my physical health, but like my spiritual health is also very important to me, and that's something that like hopefully I can share with you guys in the future and tell you guys how I developed it more and how it has changed me more. Because even at the beginning of the year past, like when I've really been struggling, like I didn't have a spiritual connection at all, and even having just a little bit has already changed my life so much. I feel like it's really helped. It's changed the way that I react to situations and handle situations, and like hopefully that's not too much of a blabber. Hopefully it makes sense.
Whatever that may be, that's your outlet. If you are down in the dumps and you have no way of getting out, you have faith, because no one's gonna get you out of it.
Yeah.
Except for your faith.
Yes.
Like literally, this is talking like the worst of the worst. Time for us to have our snacks, and I have my favorite Quest bar with me.
Which I had earlier. It's the double chocolate chunk.
It's amazing.
But guys, no cow bars are so good. I started eating them.
Cookie bites.
Cookie bites are immaculate.
So delicious.
Okay,
guys.
well, we love you guys, and we will catch you in the next video.
Yeah.